Coming up, a once-in-a-generation eruption on a volcanic island.
That is huge.
Flattens homes and devastates lives.
It was a real moment of panic.
People fleeing from their homes, grabbing whatever they could.
Off the northwest coast of Africa, the Spanish island of La Palma. 85,000 people have set up home beneath a volcano that hasn't been active since 1971. 50 years later, there are rumors of a potential new eruption. Kelly Smith has lived on the island for 13 years.
A friend from Tenerife messaged me and she asked me if the rumours were true. And I said to her, what rumours? And she asked about the volcano. And I said, what volcano?
Andrew and Ailey Miles have only just moved to the island and have been exploring the Cumbre Vieja National Park. The old volcano crater is just a passing, dormant feature of the landscape.
We're aware of seismicity occurring on a fairly regular basis and it being not that big a deal because it's just part of the fabric of where we live.
Long-term resident Catherine Gouffron suspects something isn't right.
There are earthquakes in the night, and I wake up and I feel I have this, perhaps we should go.
It's September 19th, 2021, and the rumors turn out to be true.
We felt a huge earthquake and it was a real moment of panic.
We stood up from our sun lounges. We could see the plume of the initial eruption.
So this is my first volcano.
Initially, it's a novelty for most people.
Here she blows. Wow.
But early fascination soon turns to fear.
I went outside and just saw a puff of smoke coming from the middle of the mountain. If I'm honest, I was a little bit nervous. My stomach started to churn.
Over the next few days, the eruption from the Cumbre Vieja volcanic ridge is beginning to develop.
I don't think many people have dealt with a live volcano in front of their face.
It's like nothing on Earth.
I was scared. My first reaction was the lava was going to come towards the house and wipe us out.
Andrew and Ailey are away from home, and it's not clear if their house is vulnerable.
It was immediately a much more tense situation. It was scary. It was potentially going to be where our house is. We watched the volcano for a while, just trying to process what had happened, generally being in awe of the sight that we were seeing. It was surreal.
Catherine's home is so close to the stream of lava, there's only one choice.
I thought, that's it. We need to go. Everything in your body is shouting, run, Forrest.
I contacted a friend in Tenerife and quickly booked a ferry so that we could be away from it in case all hell was going to break loose.
People are leaving their homes by choice and by order of the authorities. An exclusion zone set up around the volcano, while fountains of molten lava spew to the surface. British volcano tracker Chris Horsley is zoning in on the eruption.
On arrival, to look at skies lit up red. I mean, it looks like there's a huge fire, the Earth's fire, coming present to land. Everywhere you look, there's a blue flashing light. People fleeing from their homes, grabbing whatever they can do to get out. And the constant rumble. And it's not pulsing, it's non-stop. Nah. That is over 100 meters in the air. Whoa! Mental.
That is huge.
One of the craziest things I've ever seen.
It was very incredible to look at. You felt that that's what people wanted to see, the kind of Hollywood special effects of a volcano. Whereas for us, it was very much, yeah, but what's happening on our street?
Back in the Canaries, on the island of La Palma. A month in, the deadly aerial threat is changing the atmosphere. As new craters erupt, there's a climate of fear. The air is thick with ash clouds. Volcanologist and rock specialist Professor Valentin Troll is one of the first on location.
Hello, hello. We are in La Laguna.
Inside the evacuated area.
So here, a very quick impression from a little kindergarten here. That is, of course, in the evacuated zone, so all kids have left. This is kind of nice because we see a bit of ash deposits here. First thing that really struck me was the volcano itself. It had grown to a considerable size by then, and it sits above villages of Tacande and La Laguna and El Paso. There was this rather big edifice with fire fountains coming out.
The island, like a pressure valve, releasing molten lava as it did when the island was formed.
I think my closest comparison is like a First World War battle scene. There is loads of people going backwards and forwards, police is going this way, emergency rescue teams going that way, animal rescue teams going yet another way. People have gas masks. Here or there, you can hear the cracking and crumbling. And then once the lava heats up the piping in the house or hits a gas tank, you get these random explosions here or there in the exclusion zone, and you're just, whoa. It's like a battlefield.
It's a chance for a Valentin to get up close to giant crawling lava lobes.
You really see that the upper crust is rolling over and it's coming down at the front of it, and the whole thing is moving towards you.
When it's safe, temperatures are tested.
What's the maximum that goes up
The
to?
maximum is 500.
Oh, I see.
It stops at 500. It's still very, very hot. So we hope that we can get one of those blocks here quenched in a few minutes. Oh, beautiful.
And rock samples taken.
Okay.
But the air is unbreathable and deadly.
You must be equipped with gas mask because there's a lot of fumes coming out, a lot of gas is being expelled from the lava flow, and there's a lot of also fumes from burning. You get a lot of toxic fumes, so you really need to be protecting yourself.
The lethal atmosphere is not the only airborne danger.
Suddenly we saw these large blocks rolling down the hill, and these were bombs that were thrown out from the volcanic summit. Here's another block coming down. It's red hot, at least in part, and it's coming at enormous speed. And then they were traveling ballistically, or they were rolling down the hill like cannonballs. So that the outer shell was lava, rock colored, but the interior was still glowing. It was just an amazing phenomenon. Oh my lord. Oh yeah, I can feel the heat from here.
As the days roll by, the volcano summit is growing. British volcano explorer Chris Horsley is right in the middle of it.
You feel the tremors run through the ground. As soon as that goes, you feel the aftershocks come right through you. I just had the drone up.
Chris's mission is to 3D map the volcano alongside the academic community.
It's quite bizarre to see images of like main roads, stations and shops, and then just a wall of fresh material tumbling its way through, ripping everything apart. It's just like Earth's bulldozer just ploughing through.
Todo lo tenemos aquí, va en la misma dirección que iba la primera vez que bajó.
Completely destroying everything in its path.
All around, hundreds of homes are being submerged.
The destruction was rapid. In a matter of a week, we saw several lava flows down a hillside, and it's completely destroyed several villages along the way. The last thing we want to hear is, why did you build a house on a volcano? They know it's a volcanic island. That's not the point. There's an element you are on a ticking time bomb.
Catherine Gouffron's house is amongst many buried in lava and ash.
When you recognize that it will not stop, it's like waiting someone who's dying, and you know that he will die, and every day is a little bit of hope, but finally there's no hope. And you need to, to turn the page in the book and say, okay, that's it. There's nothing left. Right now, I'm afraid of a moment when I will go the first time to see how our house was, because everything is dead. That's it. There's no life in it.
Catherine's home and her neighbours' properties near Las Manchas are entombed.
So we are approaching the outskirts of Las Manchas here, and as you can see, the ash cover is very thick.
Valentin Troll is one of the few people allowed access to the area.
And of course, there is grain size variations, very unpleasant to touch. The ash is quite a phenomenon. I mean, the ash layers are really thick by now. One of my colleagues called it black snow or the devil's snow.
Even the dead aren't safe.
We're here at the cemetery in Las Manchas, and this is the lava that has intruded the cemetery only a few days ago.
The team are inspecting a cemetery overrun by lava and ash when the culprit threatens to explode.
So we are now seeking shelter under the roof of a petrol station. Suddenly the ash fall picked up, the wind picked up, and the sulfur in the air became a real sting. We were immediately, of course, putting our gas masks on and putting the safety equipment on, but within minutes we realized this is a very serious thing. So we were just unlucky. But the wind is blowing a lot of ash and lapilli around, which is a bit unpleasant. The sulfur smell is actually quite intense. Apparently, concentrations are bearable.
And the volcano's reawakening.
Suddenly, the volcano turned really explosive. There was this big cloud, this bulbous cloud coming out, and it was grey and brown and really intense.
They have to get away.
We knew that this was not a good place to be.
Tiny particles of rock fly through the atmosphere.
It's being like sand blasted, but with very sharp sand fragments, basically little glass shards. But now it's very obvious. If you've seen them erupting, it is a really hellish situation.
Back in La Palma, the volcano's in a record 85th day. The eruptions continue in force. No one knows when the chaos will end. But in mid-December, a lull. A quiet volcanic phase allows new residents Andrew and Ailey to return home to see just how close the lava has come.
It is now about 100 metres away from our house.
This is the view down our front steps. All of our plants are looking quite buried. So I'm in my front garden just now, and the rock that you can see in the distance there is the lava flow. So it's maybe about 130 metres from our property, and it flows all right the way downhill. It comes all right round, covering just such a massive area. This is from the top of our garden, and this is the new landscape.
But incredibly, the lavas run either side of their house. The neighborhood has been swallowed up by a cooling flow of new rock.
Everything is gone. It has been burned and buried, and that is all that there is to it. There's nothing that is recoverable.
There's not a hint of your house having been there. It's very final, very final.
Their house is covered in volcanic ash that'll turn to cement if it rains.
It's completely altered the landscape.
We're currently working on clearing the driveway so that we can get some access with our car again. I have my PPE on. The reason that we want to remove the ash from the roof isn't aesthetic. It is actually a very porous material. It's small pieces of hollow rock, and they absorb water really well. And basically that means that the weight of them increases.
The Cumbre Vieja National Park is now much calmer, but seismic activity continues. Nearly 3,000 homes have been lost. Countless lives devastated. A new peninsula has been formed in the sea. Catherine's home is gone forever.
Everything can change in one day, in 1 minute, in an hour. I think an experience that everyone who experienced losing something knows.
Andrew and Ailey still have no idea if their home will survive.
I don't even have the words to articulate how terrifying that is. I'm really quite frightened. It's been just this horrible state of limbo.
No one knows what impact the ash will have on the climate.
On the one side, it's humbling. One realizes how small humans are compared to these natural forces. On the other side, it's quite invigorating because you have the privilege to be there and feel the earth trembling, to feel the rumble of the volcano, to witness such a natural spectacle is quite amazing.
Volcanic ash and gases can reflect incoming solar radiation and absorb outgoing heat from the land, cooling average temperatures. This seismic storm, just part of a long-term influence on our weather.
Volcanic eruptions themselves have a huge part to play in climate. The world itself kind of runs in patterns that are quite often peaks in weather. So they have overall control about what this climate does. The planet taking care of itself, it's a pressure release valve of a system that needs to stay stable for us to maintain an existence. Without volcanoes, there wouldn't be life on this planet.